Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Grimm Reader. This is my third Grimm Chronicles, the Grimm Chronicles, an update of my reading for 2 weeks now, because I didn't do one last week because of all the furnace, not having a furnace kind of getting in my mind space, so that I really wasn't in a good place to talk just about my reading. Hope everyone is doing well. I'm still kind of bundled up here because it's really cold outside, and I actually have a new clock that shows me the temperature, and I am in the coldest room in the house. It says it's 62. Is 62 inside? I mean, it's okay. This morning it was 48 in here. That's cold. The house isn't particularly badly insulated, but it's just a little flat. It doesn't have a basement. It's like a slab on a slab, which I know some people think is strange. I think it's a little strange not to have a basement, but it's okay. So I was thinking about my reading and how there's no new books to report, but part of what we do in these updates, I think, is, well, at least me, we kind of talk about our relationship to what we read, or to the book that we read, to the books, and if that relationship changes in any way. I mean, at least when you hang on to books as long as I do, in terms of being a slow reader, you do kind of establish a relationship to some of them at least. And so, yeah, and all the ones I'm reading, I do have interesting things to say a little bit. I mean, an interesting relationship. So the first one is Ellie Smith's Winter, which is I'm still kind of I'm reading it. I'm on page 219, and I have to make sure I get to where I need to be for tomorrow's discussion. It's such an interesting book because I still stand by some. I don't think it always works, but then it kind of reels me in. And even sections, so there's one character called Art. He's the son of, so it's two older sisters, Sophie and Iris, and then Art, who has a blog, and basically he's a very, very odd person. I actually think that at least one of the sisters and Art are mentally ill. I mean, not to make light of it, but just the amount of delusion, or their relationship to the world, is very odd and very strange. And so for a long time I kept thinking, I still kind of think Art is kind of annoying because of his aloofness and his very, very pronounced inability to connect, he doesn't want to connect. He's completely self-involved. So of course that's going to be kind of trying. And yet sometimes the passages, so I've just read this passage where he's thinking about winter, are beautifully written in a certain, they're very poetic. But so there's this dichotomy of beautifully written passages that are basically in his mind, but they're obviously also Ellie Smith writing them. But they're in the mind of a person who then on the same page says, who gives an F what two old women are fighting over, and the two old women are his mother and his aunt. Like it's as if in his own consciousness that he just sees, he doesn't even connect that they're his family. Which I do think, I mean, I'm not an expert, but that to me is a sign of psychological issues of a severe variety. The inability to be able to say that is your family, even in his mind. I mean, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but so it's a funny mixture of, it's quite readable still. I still enjoy reading it. It's just that sometimes the relationships are strange, and I've kind of gotten over the fact that you don't always get what's going on, because then it does kind of fall into place, and then so there's a mixture. Sometimes you just don't know, and sometimes you're just not convinced with the writing or whatever. There's moments, but it's as if like it's a crazy car ride, and it's an enjoyable one. So I'm going to keep, I am enjoying it, even though I don't know if it's always successful. So that's Ellie Smith. Moving on to, so this was an interesting one, because I was going to not give up at all. I love it, but put it aside for now. And I can't quite do that. I haven't read that much. I'm on page 9. I'm on chapter 1092. But I think I'm going to just, so for the big books that I'm reading this one, and I'm I haven't made much progress, but I am still connected to this one, Recognitions. And so the experience I'm having with both of them is that there's a patience, like I don't feel like I'm losing the thread with either of them, so I can come back to them. They will wait for me. And it reminds me of how different the reading experience was for me personally with Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel, which I was very frustrated with that book because I had the sense of if I could commit to it and be immersed in it and only do that, maybe I would really enjoy it more. And I got impatient with myself and with the book, and I can't tell what exactly was going on. Also, I was busy with school, so this is my last school-free weekend, and so maybe I'll get more impatient about these two. But it's as if however long they take me, I'm going to keep them on the currently reading roster. And I read a little bit further from when I last talked to you guys in this one, but not much. It was about the mother, Katie, and then it's going to go back to the main character of the book, which is Francie, her daughter. It's like a family saga. And then Recognitions, I have been out of that one, but I did have a few even if I've only read a few pages, I still remember what's going on. It's right now it's the marriage between Esther and Wyatt, the son of the Reverend, their strange marriage, and he's very strange. He's also someone who's kind of has issues with connection, and but it's really, really well done. Esther's sort of wondering about Wyatt's sexuality, and there's hints at that he's basically that he might be homosexual, but it's as if I think it's more an issue of him being just kind of self-enclosed in a certain way. And I do think that the writing is like it's superior to something like Ali Smith. I mean, I just think that 1955, it's just different too. People keep going on about it being postmodern, and it is somewhat. I'm not so sure. I mean, I haven't. It is, but it's not like, I don't think it's like Pynchon exactly. But there are, I'm only at the beginning, and there's many more pages, and I have kind of seen people talk about it getting more so as you get into it more. But I'm still really enjoying it, and one week when I've read a bigger chunk, I'll talk more about get into the specifics and read out a couple of choice sentences. But just general comments on it today, because I just haven't been able to immerse myself that much in it. But it's still a wonderful, wonderful book. So yeah, you're going to be seeing me talk about my relationship to these books as opposed to saying I'm done with them for a while. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, at least not for me. And then also, the one I thought I might, there's two more books I need to talk about. And that's the ebook Wish You Were Here by Stewart Onan, which I've also had a very interesting time with. So it was one I just kind of fell into because I like Stewart Onan as a writer. And for some reason, I misread how long it is. I thought, it's only like 200. No, this book has 528 pages. And I can't believe I didn't see that. And so for a while, and it focuses on a very close portrayal of a regular middle-class American family. He has a connection to Pittsburgh, so the grandmother now is from Pittsburgh, and then it's all about her kids, and they are coming to this holiday house cottage in Lake Chautauqua, Western New York, and it's the last time they'll be there because the grandmother has decided to sell the house, and you get a very, very intimate portrayal of all of these characters in the family. So the grandmother and her sister-in-law, and the kids and their kids, so actual kids, and then the in-between generation. Very, very close-up portrayal of this week in a cottage, so basically a holiday, and it's been raining a lot. And so there is a bit of a claustrophobic, oh my gosh, did I really want to find out this much about this family? And because he's a good writer, you do, but for a while, I found myself getting impatient with it. And I watched Brian's bookish hodgepodge this morning where he said he didn't get impatient with a big book he'd been reading. And I did for a while. I did sort of want it to just be over, and I know that not that much is going to happen. And I let myself kind of get talked into, not exactly, just kind of reading quickly. And then it became less enjoyable. And I had to sort of remind myself, this is a kind of book, if you allow yourself into it and just go with the fact that it's a pace thing, it became more enjoyable when I just kind of resign myself to the beauty of the prose and the little sort of mini epiphanies that you get when you read closely and for pleasure, as opposed to just kind of wanting to get through it. So my mental attitude had to change for it to become, and also I had to get over the fact that, I thought this would be a quick read of 200 pages. No, it's also a bit of a commitment, not nearly as much of a commitment as these two, and it is the one that I hope to finish by next week. Let's go for that. Hopefully by next Saturday I can be finished with Wish You Were Here. And then the last book is my ebook, and that is also going wonderfully, if somewhat slowly too, because I just kind of listen to it when I do work around the house. I don't really sit and listen to audiobooks, so they do take a while. It's The Buried Giant by Kazuo Ishiguro, and it's amazing. I really, really love it. I really love that it's a book that the main characters are an older couple, which you don't really get that often. And I guess Wish You Were Here has the older women in it. I do like fiction because I'm getting older myself. That doesn't focus on young people. But this is sort of an adventure novel, and they're at the center of that. So, it's like Lord of the Rings, but with an old married couple. And it works. Yeah, I do love it very much. They are sort of a weird modern take on the Arthurian stuff. Not exactly Arthur, but Gawain, and I don't know, does this she-dragon that's at the center of this book come up elsewhere? I'll have to do a little bit of research on the she-dragon. I'm looking at book Goodreads and seeing who ditched it. Yes, okay. Someone that we all know couldn't handle the ogres and stuff. I'm sorry, I'm reading this. That's hilarious. Yeah, some people didn't like it. Okay, interesting, very interesting. Well, I'm loving it. I love it. I think it's really well done. And it is true that sometimes I love this stuff about memory, because even when you're listening to it, the same thing happens. Like, I find myself not remembering. And also I think he's doing interesting things with talking about the old couple, and then switching, and then the other characters, and where are they in the geography of the book, and also in the timeline of the book. I think that's sort of what's going on. And yeah, so the memory stuff is really cool. No, I think it's great, and I think it's really well written too, because I think it's the kind of book that could flounder if it were if it were not in the hands of such a good writer. So yeah, no, it's lovely. Yeah, so I think that's it. I've been sort of looking around at other things. I've got a few new samples of things that I might try based on looking at booktubers. The TBR is in a sort of organic entity that changes, and that's wonderful. That's kind of what we enjoy too. So yeah, I'm gonna try and up my book content on Instagram, because I've noticed that the cat content, or the quotidien content has taken over a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna try and post more pictures of books and stuff, which is not that hard to do. There's books everywhere. So yeah, anyway, I think 14 minutes is enough for this week. I hope you are all doing well, and I will check in probably not until next week, because this is the first week of school, and so I'll be quite busy, and I will probably be more tired. Talk to you soon, and please comment on anything regarding these books, or anything in particular. And thank you all for watching and subscribing, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.